From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, welcome into The Horse's Mouth here. Tommy Max, of course, at my bar. And we got some friends at the bar this time around. Looking forward to it. Brought to you by our other friends at Dasher and Operation Barnabas. XL Primetime is here from 1010 XL. Coach Campo's leading the way, and he brought him in. Let's say hi to Coach first and foremost. Hey, Coach, welcome back.
Hey, Tom.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good.
You feeling good?
Well, you know, I've calmed down after the last Jaguar game, so I'm feeling pretty good right now.
You can't do anything about it. It's in the past.
Absolutely. Look to next year.
Look forward to next year. I'm looking forward to this weekend's games. I mean, I love playoff football. Man. It's the best.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And unfortunately, of course, our guys didn't make it, but they're going to make it next year. Yeah, they're going to make it next year.
You know, like my wife says, she's like, hey, babe, you guys are still the best era, so it's okay.
No question.
Right. I feel good about that. You brought some friends with you.
Yeah.
How about it?
Yeah, this is a primetime group.
Yeah.
I'm part of that group, but just a small part. Mia O'Brien, Matt Hayes, and Joe Cowart from the primetime.
Mia, great to see you. I see you guys every Friday, but it's great to have you.
Yeah, and we like to call him our head coach. Right?
Absolutely.
The guy who comes in and drops some knowledge on us.
All right, how do you guys make the magic work? How do you all figure it out? You're on 12 to 3 every day, Monday through Friday. It's a big show. You got a lot of personalities. How do you make it work?
I always like to say that it's unrehearsed, but there's a plan. And you go in there with unique thoughts, ideas, good exchange, not necessarily always arguing with one another, but you better have an opinion. You better be able to state your case as far as what you believe. And it's Jaguars around the clock. They're probably top of mind all the time.
Yeah, you got to back up what you're going to say, right?
Yeah, I mean, knowledge is key, obviously. I think one of the key things for the show is in the pre-show meeting, like we'll bounce around ideas and you really start to get ideas of where the show is going to go. The best part is where our producer, JJ LaSelva, screamed, save it! Save it for the show!
Oh, yeah.
Because we go back and forth in pre-show.
Yeah. How long are those pre-production? 30 minutes? 20 minutes?
Are you asking for like the formal structure or like what it actually is?
Yeah, like how long does it take?
I would argue it's about 25 minutes, anywhere between 5 to 25 minutes of us just sitting around. Like I've brought in interns, I've brought in job shadows, and I say to them, like the rest of the building is filtered. Where you are about to enter is the most unfiltered, fun sports talk. Like this is where the real magic happens.
Absolutely.
And they're usually pretty like scared at first, but then they get in there and they're like, this is what I was looking for. But I think what separates our show too, and I always say this, is I think we are one of the few shows that we have an expert in multiple different arenas, if you may, than any other program that 1010XL or any other sports radio program in the country offers. Because obviously, Matt, one of the preeminent college football writers here in the South, Joe with his work with PGA Tour, Leon Searcy, the All-Pro right tackle, obviously is a former player. And so we have a little bit of something that I don't think every single show has an expert they can defer to on different topics, but we have that ability.
And you guys, it feels like you're having a good time. And that's what it's about,
and you know, we can't, if you think of what Coach brings to the table,
I know.
He can immediately
he's the real expert. Who am I kidding? This is the real expert here.
And I don't sit in on the production meeting. They throw them at me.
That's the best way,
out of the deal.
That's the best way.
But he can immediately pick up the phone and get in touch with people who are in the know, and that's a direct connect to what's going on in today's NFL and college football.
Yeah. So talk about, like, because I know a lot of people when you're playing ball, they think you just show up on Sunday and play the game, right? You guys go on the radio 12 to 3, but it's much more than that. You're either selling, you're either setting up interviews, you're either working at the stadium, you know, getting quotes and whatnot. I mean, it's a full-time gig for you guys. Talk about that a minute.
Yeah, use Matt as an example. Okay, this guy's been covering college football for how long? 30-some years.
Wow.
And so the idea, you know, to follow Mia's point, is that we come in with connections, and that's what we call them nooners. That's what our nooners are looking for. Is for us to be in the know or have someone that we can talk to find out. And college football and pro football are the heartbeat of our sports fans.
Especially in this town. Right?
They're living, our listeners are living their sports lives vicariously through us.
Right.
So it's up to us to take them on that journey and have knowledge of that journey. Anybody can just get on the radio and say anything, but you got to have knowledge, and I think we cover it with Joe, with Mia, with Leon, with Coach when he's there, even our producer JJ, same thing. You've got to make people want to come back and listen, because not only is it knowledge, but you like the interaction between the hosts too.
Absolutely.
To your point about the preparation, though, people always ask me, they're like, how do you prepare to host a radio show? And I say, it's a 20-minute, like, us talking about everything that's happened in the past 24 hours in sports, but other than that, there's no real prep because as long as you're immersed in sports, which I would think as sports fans we are, I mean, we're all on Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it these days. You're watching sports programming, you're doing your daily job, like you said, of being at the stadium, getting quotes, talking to people, building sources. And so in terms of actual like preparation, I always like kind of look at people and I'm like, I don't need to prep. I watch sports when I go home and I watch them when I wake up in the morning and I consume that content, and that's what feeds our show, because as long as you're doing that daily work, then the actual like what do you bring to the program itself will come naturally.
And your background's in TV. You do both, obviously, digital. You do a great job with all your post-game work and all that. What's better about radio? What do you like most about radio?
You get 3 hours of real estate. I spent 10 years only getting 3 minutes of a sportscast, and if that, I think one of the breaking points was went into a Saturday night, Florida State, Miami, and Georgia, all in big games, was told I'd have 5 minutes. I get on the earpiece and they say, you have 90 seconds to get through all of that. And that was the moment that I went, how can I be a service to the listener, to the viewer, to our consumers of our content, if I can't actually give them everything and provide them with the best insight and the best, highlights. And that was where I said, you know what, with 3 hours of real estate, and then when you consider podcasts and the digital and the YouTube, and it's like the fact that outside of a 240 character limit on X and then a 90-second limit on Instagram Reels, it's unlimited. And while certainly there is some measuring and saying what does our consumers' attention span actually allow for, if you can keep it within those reins, you're unlimited, unlike that newscast.
What would you say, Matt? What's your favorite part of being on XL Primetime?
Honestly, it's when the discussion veers toward life. Because that's when we have the most fun. We have fun all the time. But when the discussion veers toward life and just things that people typically don't think you would hear on a sports show, we have this text line where you can text in and you can give us your thoughts. The text line literally goes crazy because that kind of makes people feel like they're part of our family. It goes beyond sports at that point. So I always love those moments where we take like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes where we're talking about Leon's grandmother's cookies that she sent us or anything like that. And people say, oh yeah, well my grandmother does this. It's a lot of fun because it brings people more into our show and makes them feel like, yeah, I'm part of these guys. I'm part of that group.
What do you say, Joe? Last word, my man.
Yeah, I feel like more than anything else, they can get their sports anywhere. We're live and local, and that means something. That means we're live bodies talking about things that local people care about.
That's right.
And the Gators, the Knowles, and all of the college teams, that used to be the only thing we had in Jacksonville. You go back pre-Tommy days, man. That's all they had. And so now they are still a big part of the fabric, but the Jaguars are number one.
All right, well, we're going to talk real quick because I got to wrap up. Producers will kill me. All you got is this. You got up, neutral, down. How you feeling about the Jags right now?
I'm down right now because of the way December finished.
There you go. How about you?
Neutral.
Neutral, because Doug Peterson says he can fix it, and until proven otherwise, he told us he could fix it last year, and he did.
All right, we'll see. What do you say? Neutral. Love it. Thanks, guys.
I'll have a lot more.
All right, cheers.
There you go.
Great to have you.
Absolutely.
Great job. There you go. Absolutely. Make sure you check them out at XL Primetime, 12 to 3 on 1010 XL and 92.5 FM. Until next time, stay safe out there and be cool. We'll see you right here on the Horse's Mouth. Cheers.
The coach should be going to bed at night thinking about the athlete and how they're going to help that athlete improve. They shouldn't be worrying about how am I going to quantify their improvement, or am I going to have to keep up with all this information? Those things that are kind of background to the coach focusing there on the athlete. And so what Dasher does is it takes all those side things away, allowing the coach to focus then on the athlete.